You ever thought you seen something and you was very sure of what you seen, only to turn out it was type of a mirage? I mean, what I'm going to tell you is something we did see, but wasn't it at all. Hey guys, I'm just finishing up my walk, and yeah, stay tuned. This is going to be a pretty good video. At least I think so. Let's run that intro. Okay, back when my wife's grandmother passed on, this is actually about 2 days before the funeral. It was actually the next day she passed away. I was over here in the park doing my walking thing. Now, before I go any further, it's starting to get a little dark, guys, so overlook that part. I can't help that. With my time period, it's still early enough in the day. It's about 5 o'clock, but it starts getting dark. But anyway, we was walking through here, and it's right after my wife's grandmother passed on, and before the funeral. A lot of times the creek brings up things out of the water when the water rises. Well, this particular day, and I'm going to use my stick, right down there, which is about 75 yards, lied on the ground something we thought was a casket. Now, whenever I do my walks, I don't like to stop. I do not like to stop. I only stop long enough to take a drink, and that's only at the most 30 seconds. I don't like to stop, so if I'm trying to spot something out, I look at it as I walk by. And when we made the first lap, we all looked down there, and I was like, that looks like a coffin. So we walked back around again. Second lap, we slowed down a little bit, looked. It does look like a coffin. Oh my gosh. The third lap we came back around, curiosity got the best of us. We had to go see what this was. So on the third lap down, we walked on down to the bottom, and when I got about halfway, something came to mind. Back many years ago, when I was a younger man, I used to live in Cincinnati, and sorry, something was on the ground. I thought it was a nickel. And I was walking to work one day, and you gotta remember that particular summer, we had a lot of rain. Guys, it poured and poured for days. Well, I was walking to work, and on my route to work, I had to pass a graveyard. Now, this particular graveyard I passed, I wish I had something to show you, but I'm just going to have to explain it. It was a big, very tall brick wall. Very tall, right? And at the top of it was the graveyard. And there was actually graves right there at the edge. And I walked past this thing hundreds and hundreds of times going to work, right? Well, this particular day, I was walking to work, and I was about, I'm guessing for me, to where that tree is from it. Not far at all. I was right up on it. And I heard something go, ain't that a hell of a sound effect? I should have used a real one on it, huh? And what happened was the wall gave away, and all that mud, it looked like muddy soup. It almost looked like lava from a volcano, but only it was mud. Just splooged out all over the sidewalk and the road. I mean, I even stepped back like this. Oh my God. And not only that came out, coffins came out with it. And some of these coffins, when they came out, you could see the dead remains inside come out as well. It was a hell of a sight. It's one I will never forget. So, as we was walking down the hill back here, as we got halfway, the first thought came through my mind is, if that is a coffin, I don't want my boys seeing it. And especially if it's a coffin, I don't know what's going to be on the other side of it. Is there going to be a dead body laying out on that one? I sure in hell don't want my boys seeing it. This whole time, you know, when we was doing the 3 laps, we was talking. How could that be a coffin down there? We was sitting there figuring, like, okay, the water's up. Where the heck did it get a coffin from? The water does go near one of the graveyards, but it's not in the graveyard. There's no way possible it could have pulled anything out of a graveyard. So, you know, that's when we were still walking around. That's before we got to our 3rd lap and went down. We were sitting there trying to figure out how in the world could that be a coffin if it is a coffin? And then we pretty much kind of convinced ourselves there's a very possibility it could be a coffin. So when we got halfway down the hill, I was thinking of these things. And I was getting ready to tell the boys, hold it, stop right here. But the closer I got, I started noticing, I don't think it's a coffin. Guys, it turned out to be a wooden toolbox. Now, I'm here to tell you, even up close to this thing, it looked identical to a coffin, kind of. I could see where we would make the mistake from a distance, thinking it was. But it was a toolbox, and as you noticed, it's not there now. But when the water does come up, you'd be amazed how much junk gets down there. And the funny let me try this again. The funny thing about it is, it was there, and a couple days later, it was gone again. Somehow the water raised up higher and took it back out to the creek. But yeah, it was a toolbox, and we thought it was a coffin. Yeah. You guys ever make mistakes like that? It doesn't have to be a coffin, but something you swear it is, but turns out to be something different. Maybe I shouldn't have called it a mirage, but the reason I'm calling it a mirage, because a mirage is something you think you see, but it's really not there. So it's kind of like a mirage. Even though it was a toolbox, a big one that looked like a coffin, even when we stood up next to it, looked just like a coffin from top side. And on our last lap, before we walked down the hill, I was sitting there, I was like, if it is a coffin, boys, we got to call the police. And what the hell are they going to do about that? I almost guarantee that would be something big news in my little town. Oh yeah, I guarantee they never had anything like that happen before. But yeah, many years ago, try to hold the camera steady, many years ago, I did see that happen. And I never want to repeat that sight again. Oh, I got that vlogger arm going. Well, guys, that's pretty much it today. And I got my workout in. I got to go home, hang laundry up in the kitchen. I still haven't fixed my dryer yet. I still got to buy that part. I'm not sure. Money's tight right now. Every December, it seems like it's when it's the hardest for us. The month of December and the month of, month of November, December seems like it's our hardest months. I know it doesn't sound like that part's going to cost much, but every nickel and dime in my family means something. And I'm sure it does you guys too. Alright guys, until next time, come on! And before I say, let's get out of here, leave me comments. And thanks for watching. It means a lot to me, folks. It does. Alright, I'm headed home. Let's get out of here.